Welcome back to Fantasy Revenge Lab. Don't forget to subscribe and bring popcorn. Let's begin. When Joy stormed into my office, his voice sharp enough to cut glass, I knew the moment had come. He slammed a mock-up on my desk, our new fragrance concept, the one I had spent months perfecting. "Do you realize what you did?" he barked. "You copied my idea. You stole from me." I didn't respond. I just looked at him, calm, composed, and that seemed to infuriate him even more. "My name is Alina, and I was the lead scent chemist at Hexagon Labs, the kind of person who built beauty from molecules. Joy was my boss, charming, manipulative, and utterly allergic to honesty. He loved claiming my work. My notes, my formulas, my late-night brainstorms all turned into his innovations. At first I tried to ignore it, but the day he stood before the board, taking credit for my flagship project, something inside me hardened. I didn't yell. I didn't quit. I simply decided he'd never get away with it again. He demanded the final fragrance formula weeks before the launch. "Send it to me," he said, "so I can cross-check." I knew what that meant. Another theft, another headline under his name. So I gave him exactly what he wanted. A final version, perfectly formatted, signed Lart, except it wasn't the real one. The ratios were just slightly off. Not enough to seem wrong, but enough that when scaled to production, the scent would lose its balance. The bright top notes would dull. The base would overpower. It would be wearable but lifeless. On launch day, Aaron stood under the spotlights, grinning like a man who thought he owned the sun. The fragrance debuted before investors, journalists, and influencers. The first samples were sprayed and silence followed. Not disgust, not approval, just polite confusion. By evening, the reviews started rolling in flat. Not what Eckhat promised. Smells unfinished. The $1 million deal wobbled. Retail partners began calling. Investors grew cold. Joy's face, once smug, now carried panic. He tore through lab reports, shouting for someone to explain the disaster. I stayed quiet. It took 3 days before he realized what had happened. The file he'd uploaded was traced back to his own login, time-stamped, edited, and approved under his name. The signature on the batch release also his. He'd been too eager, too certain. When he stormed into my office again, voice, I was ready. I played a short recording. Him boasting in a meeting about mentoring me while taking full credit for the project. His own words became his undoing. The board didn't take long. His contract was terminated. His reputation shattered. My name replaced his on the project credits. The corrected formula relaunched, and the world finally smelled what I had intended. I didn't gloat. I didn't post or brag. I just went back to my lab, to my work, to my peace. Joy had taught me one thing. Some people mistake silence for weakness, but silence used wisely can be precision. Subscribe.